Now, violence erupted in UK's Leeds, in fact, Thursday evening, as angry rioters set a double-decker bus on fire, smashed windows and overturned a police car. Despite heavy police presence, officers appeared to be overwhelmed by a large number of protesters as people threw various objects at a police car, including what appeared to be a police car. Now, the chaos broke out in Hare Hills, about 1.6 kilometers northeast of the Leeds city centre. According to the reports that are coming in, social services in the area took away 4 children from a family in the Hare Hills at around 5 p.m. local time, which is believed to be the reason that for these riots that are taking place. The real question is, are there have there been, of course, the real question that arises is what exactly is taking place in London. Again, visuals on your screens. Just look at the kind of violence that has erupted in Leeds right now. Again, that you see over here is essentially a car that has been completely put on fire. It's ablaze right now, and you can see, of course, over there how the ambulances, in fact a row of ambulances are moving past. So that's, of course, something that's happening in Leeds at this point of time. My colleague Simran is with us on the broadcast, so she's going to help us understand what exactly is taking place and why has it erupted, these protests.
Well, Asabri, to start with what transpired, the violent clashes that had rocked the USS Leeds, which is in an area which is nearly over a kilometer to the northeast of Leeds, where basically, as to believe many reports that are coming from, it is to be understood that after some agency and the children took away the children from a family, this actually led to violent clashes on the road, where the mass riots took place and broke out, and in fact then leading into the police vehicles being torched and thrones being at the police vehicles at that very point, which actually led to the rioters and the protesters overpowering the police personnel at that moment. When actually that happened, that led to a stir of violence following this incident, which led to the bypassers witnessing violent clashes at the point. Well, what we are given to understand at this moment by the reports that we are receiving, that the Home Secretary has also condoled the incident and also said that the full investigation by the Yorkshire Police has to be taken into this very matter, and to understand what actually transpired into this. What was the matter when the children of an agency were being taken from the family? To believe the reports which we are given to understand at this point, the 4 children of a family were being taken away, when also a lot of people had statements given the conduct that this actually had led to the police and the protesters get into a clash, and that is why the police is full hands investing into what led to this, and more details on this will be coming as the officials and the administrators of the city have promised the people that the violence that has taken place will have to go through an entire inquiry and nothing will be spared later on. Well, the more details will be actually followed in just shortly, but as of now the confirmed updates are that the taking away of 4 children have led to the violent chaos that have broken in Leeds.
Police cars are being burnt, ambulances, rows and rows of ambulances are crossing by, and again, stone pelting happening, buses being burnt down. It's a chaotic situation. In fact, their Home Secretary is also saying that they're absolutely appalled by this situation. How do you view these developments that are taking place in London?
Britain was on the brink for quite some time. It's their immigration policy which has led to that fundamental radicalization of the society is taking place, and they are not willing to accept the locals. Now, that is the basic problem. If you remember, J.D. Vance, the running mate for the vice presidency of USA with Trump, was on record to say that England will be the first Islamic atomic power in this world. Now, that says a lot of things. What's happening in UK? And what you are finding is, when you find an ignition, a chingari, some spark there, here and there, and this will erupt into a violence. And what you are seeing on the street, something, it's something like this, that in Britain, the immigration and the Islamic population in certain areas follow Sharia law. The white people are not allowed to go in there, or Indians are not allowed to go in there in UK. Now that's the reality of life. And when this sort of a thing happens, it will lead to violence. And with this, recent elections in England, and the repercussions of that are also going to be seen. With the Labour Party in charge, this is all going to increase and lead into a huge chaos. I'll not be surprised if, you will find UK entirely in a turmoil. A jihadi type of radicalization of the society is taking place in Europe, Western Europe, entire Western Europe, and particularly in England too. So I'm not surprised at seeing these visuals. And this will be the order of the day, because some spark somewhere or the other. Because locals are going to resist. The other population is going to resist on this. And when that happens, there is going to be crashes. The reason might be anything. There'll be a spark here, there'll be a spark there, and the whole thing will, light up into a fire. And this is what is the situation in UK. The basic radical fundamentalism is taken roots in UK. You had those grooming gang issues and things like that. We know who are all behind that. We know that. And after that, this is an issue which people want to brush under the carpet. But that's not the case. It is visible on the streets of London and Leeds and bigger cities, Manchester and places like that. In certain places, as I told you, you cannot even go, without a Sharia law, without following a Sharia law. They simply say the white people are not allowed. That is also seen there, in certain places.
Right, so absolutely. Now, let's also point out the fact that there are two simultaneous protests that are taking place. One's taking place in Leeds, the other one where in London there are Bangladeshis who started protesting, and both seem equally violent.
Yes.
I just want to understand from you, जो हम कहते हैं ना पानी सर के ऊपर चढ़ चुका है, is that the reason for this absolute outrage, this chaos that we're seeing as it unfolds?
It does, because basically what happens is, the immigration and the people who have gone and settled in London and UK, when they grow in numbers, some people mix up with the local population in them. Certain cultures are like that. Whereas certain cultures want to make their own ghettos and own areas. That you are finding with Bangladeshis and Pakistani people. And some of the, African countries. Now, when they start implementing their own local laws. See, the best part is these people have run off from their countries to avoid Sharia. But they come here and propagate the same thing, Sharia again. And so this will lead to conflicts. The entire Western Europe is on the brink of it. You will see periodic riots taking place in England, France, Germany, places like that. And it's going to happen more and more as the time goes, unless they check on their immigration policies.
No,
Because
yeah,
everybody
absolutely. It is, in a sense, a reality check for the UK. The fact that they've been so quiet, so mum, no response, nothing. Whatever, anything and everything is essentially happening. That's the way one has to essentially look at it, right? So,
if they want to survive, if they want to make their local people live peacefully, because see, it's something like this. For certain people, as long as they're 10 or 15%, it's okay. But the moment they go beyond 15%, they start creating trouble. And the moment they are 40%, they say we are in a majority. That is what has been happening. And, as I said, before also, fundamental radicalization is something which these people, entire Western Europe will have to fight if they want to survive. Otherwise, they'll be taken over. And, J.D. Vance's words, what he had said, England will be the first Islamic atomic power. Well, I don't see anything wrong in that.
Right, so absolutely. Now, of course, let's talk about Keir Starmer for a minute. In your assessment, what is his leadership? How is he in fact going to react and respond, and how is his leadership going to pan out as far as these protests are concerned?
Yes, why? You see, he's basically won on the vote of what? Conservatism is not accepted. That is what the vote was awarded. Because conservatives lost badly, Tories lost badly. And it's the Labour Party that won. So, he's won on the votes of anybody and everybody. Now, in such a case, if he shows a nationalistic inkling and takes up these rioters as rioters and treats them and punishes them, then maybe the things will be okay and he'll have to do that in a long run or a short run. But he's not a right-wing fundamentalist, that you must understand. So he'll be soft on these elements. Whether we like it or not, it will be a compulsion for his governance to be soft on such things. And that will be seen, you will see, you will remember. Another 6 months, 8 months, couple of more incidents, and you will understand that how can you go soft on such things.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.